If you enjoy the Drunken Peasants podcast, you can support us by going to audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants and getting a free audio book. We recommend The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, which I believe is read by Richard Dawkins. There's also many other fine books on atheism and other subjects that you can get for free by visiting that URL.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck are you talking about, atheist?
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be light.
You're garbage.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. I'm Ben, and I'm here with TJ. And
No.
No?
No!
No?
You're not here with TJ. TJ is here with you, Ben.
Shit. And I see you got Cena.
Yeah. Me and Cena have made up. We're buddies now.
You and Cena made out. Your buddies now.
Thing sucks.
You hear that, Ben?
Yeah, I hear it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
He has the soul of a poet.
By the way, our new intro was made by Dave Creator. I put his link in the description of the show.
You should read his link because it's quite a URL.
He doesn't have a custom URL for his channel. So what you want me to give?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to give you his URL?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. It's youtube.com/ should I do the channel /
Sure.
youtube.com / channel / capital U, capital C, capital V, capital O, capital J, capital G, capital L, lowercase o, lowercase p, capital M, capital Y, capital N, lowercase s, uppercase V, 3, lowercase h, capital H, capital J, lowercase y, lowercase x, lowercase w, capital Q, lowercase b, lowercase w. So
you guys check out that link.
Check that out.
Anytime you want.
He recently sold his soul on eBay for like $60-something.
That's not a bad price.
Yeah.
The going rate on souls is pretty low at this point in human history. There's so many. The market is flooded.
I'm sure he could, sell his soul again down the road to somebody else eventually.
Double dipping.
People will forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear like static. Is that just me?
I heard it, but it doesn't look like it's going out on the broadcast, so it must just be like an internal thing.
Like anal fissures.
Yeah, I think so.
So Scotty's not here.
Yeah, he's not here.
Scotty is dead.
You know what, though? Scotty sent us a video,
Did he?
actually. Yeah, it was like a confession video.
Yeah, we should play that.
You want to play that?
Yeah, let's look at Scotty's confession.
Okay.
To us.
It's entitled do you want to give the backstory?
We should give some backstory. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Was it the Remarkable Republican?
Yes.
The Remarkable Republican, I guess a YouTuber, sent in a question to us wherein he asked, Scotty if he was, he didn't ask if he was gay or Christian. He just declared that Scotty was a gay Christian. And he asked why Scotty would hide such things. And, Scotty at first denied it, but now Scotty's changing his tune.
Is he?
Yeah, and we should play that clip.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's me, Scotty. And I just had to come out and say it. I'm gay and a Christian. Remarkable Republican was right, but I was too afraid to say it on the air. But I can't hide it any longer. And to prove that I am gay and a Christian, I will have sex with Judge Dredd right here and now.
Judge Dredd.
Man, I didn't know Scotty could get Judge
Come over
Dredd
here, Dredd, and fuck
to
my
do
ass
this
for
video
Jesus.
with him.
Yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oh. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Jesus rocks.
Oh,
Oh.
my God.
Oh, God.
Judge Dredd.
I am the law. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Scotty wanted us to... We actually got that last week. Scotty didn't want to play it,
No.
but he ain't here this week, so...
Well, TJ said that if the roles were reversed and that video was TJ getting fucked in the ass by Judge Dredd, Scotty would have wanted to play it.
Hell, I would have wanted to play it. But yeah, Scotty definitely would have. He wouldn't have been like, TJ might not like this.
No, I don't think so, and obviously you know him better than I do. So
Yeah. He's crying right now.
So it's a pretty slow news day today.
That's true. We don't even really have many news stories.
Yeah, we were looking for some, and the headlines with videos attached to them are just pretty terrible.
Give me an example.
You want an example?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The Fresh Prince Carlton dance is back.
Wow. So that's the news, huh?
It's under more top stories. So,
That's a top story.
yeah. See, more top stories down.
The
here.
Carlton
The
dance
Fresh
is
Prince
back.
Carlton dance is back. So
That holy shit.
riveting news.
I think that's actually one of the signs of the apocalypse, so we should probably be cautious.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah, and let's see what else is there.
Boy's casket exhumed, but he's
Not in it.
Where'd he go?
Obviously he was never buried in it unless someone stole the body and then put the dirt back, which I think someone
That's a
would
lot
have
of
noticed.
work.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I mean, stealing the body is one thing, but to actually like put the dirt back afterwards, I mean, that's a pretty considerate grave robber, really.
There's no video for this story, but it says baby with bucket list dies.
What? Baby with bucket list.
Baby with
dies.
bucket list dies. You want me to open it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's sad and funny all
Well,
at once.
It's weird.
How would a baby make a bucket list? Anyway?
I don't know. You know what? It looks stupid. I don't even want to read it.
Of course it's stupid.
Yeah.
You knew
Fuck
it was
it.
stupid when you clicked on it.
Yeah. Let's just go into Pat Robertson.
Okay. What is old Pat up to?
He's talking about Halloween. Actually, you know how they do a Q&A segment on the 700 Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the Q&A segment, someone, a concerned mother, wrote in about letting her children celebrate Halloween.
Okay.
We want to get right to your email. Pat, this first one is from Hope, who says, my sister wants to throw a Halloween party for the children in our family. But
She's
I'm
a
Christian
witch!
woman and want to
Burn her!
continue to instill these values in my children and grandchild, so I don't let them participate in trick-or-treating or costumes. My family feels like I'm stopping my kids' fun. Will it be wrong to let them go to the party and buy them costumes and just don't let them trick-or-treat? Please help, because I don't want to see them upset.
All right, Halloween.
So, just the question itself is pretty ridiculous. She's looking for a loophole too. You see that? She's like, well, what if they just go to a party and wear costumes, but not trick or treat?
Well, you know, it's the trick or treating that's really the evil part.
Right.
If you think about it.
Apparently.
Going to a party dressed in a costume, that's no big deal. So are all costume parties evil, or just if you have it around Halloween? Like, what if you had a Christian-themed costume party?
That's what the day after Halloween, was traditionally.
What?
You know, the Feast of All Saints. That's what Halloween is the eve of, and that's where like all the saints, like back in the day, people used to dress as saints during that day.
I could never have a feast the day after Halloween because I typically ate all my candy when I got home.
Well, the Feast of All Saints was strategically placed where it is because of Halloween, basically.
Well, the next day for me was always consistent of like,
yeah, candy corn.
Why?
Do you eat candy corn? Do you like that shit?
You know, it's like if it's there, I will put it in my mouth and chew it and swallow it.
We're still talking about candy corn.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, if it, if I have other choices, like if there's literally any other candy choice, then the candy corn will probably be, that's like the lowest item on the food chain there. I mean, I'm gonna go for like a Twix or a Reese's peanut butter cup or anything before a fucking candy corn.
Yeah, but you have eaten candy corn.
Yes.
So have I. And I don't think
Guilty
it's that
as
bad.
charged.
Some people hate it. Some
yeah,
people are
I've heard.
disgusted
I mean,
by
like,
it.
I don't really have the hatred thing going, but it's kind of fun to put them on your teeth and act like they're fangs too. Like, I'm the candy corn monster.
All right, so
But that's about the most useful thing you can do with them.
so Pat's gonna weigh in on the question here.
Is a festival for demonic spirits. The whole idea of
It's actually
trick-or-treating
a festival for children, but that's fine.
Druids would go to somebody's house and ask for money, and if they didn't get money, they'd kill one of their sheep. I mean, that was the trick.
Okay, but it kind of changed a little since then, though. I
Right.
mean, like talking about like this thing has crazy origins where people used to go to people's houses and ask for money or kill sheep. It's like, okay, but that's not what it is anymore.
Yeah, don't
That's
hear
not
about
what it's
that.
been for a long fucking
I
time.
haven't heard about that for a while.
And these are the same people who complain about the War of Christmas, but they fucking refuse to acknowledge the very pagan origins of Christmas. And all the Christmas traditions have their roots in pagan beliefs, not Christian ones. I mean, there's no evidence scripturally that Jesus was born in December.
No,
They actually say that he was probably born in the spring or summer.
if he was born at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was serious stuff, and it was also all this business about goblins and jack-o'-lanterns and all that. All comes out of
Goblins and jack-o'-lanterns. Whoa, those are two very similar things, right?
Yeah, like,
A pumpkin with a face carved in it.
that's evil. Don't you realize how evil that is, Ben?
I thought it was fun when I was a kid. Was I actually worshiping Satan while I was doing that?
You were.
Holy shit.
You were, not only were you worshiping Satan, you were sucking Satan's cock.
Well, I mean, in a way, because you cut up the pumpkin and you pull all the guts out of it, and then you roast the seeds.
And the way that started was the druids would cut a person open,
Yeah.
and pull all their guts out.
I see.
Yeah, so really, you're celebrating human sacrifice like the druids. You're a monster, Ben.
demonic rituals of the Druids and the people who lived in England at that particular time. I think churches can have Halloween parties. You can.
So a party is okay if it's a church.
Yeah, what is he getting at here? Is he committing to any answer at all to this question?
I think it's like you let some old dude with dementia answer questions on TV. It's always going to have some interesting results.
It's kind of crazy that at one time this guy ran for president and he was actually like a force to be reckoned with.
Well, it's too bad that didn't happen. I think America would be better if we'd had a Pat Robertson presidency. Halloween is evil.
Yeah.
Bob for apples and do stuff like that and turn it into a Christian festival.
When you're bobbing for apples, actually you're simulating putting Satan's nuts in your mouth.
That's what it is. The old pagan ritual, they used to castrate people and throw their balls in a giant vat of boiling acid.
Yeah, oh, man.
And then they would force people to stick their heads in there and
Pat
eat
Robertson
testicles
advocates children putting Satan's testicles in their
his mouth.
You heard it here first.
It's all evil. It's all druid shit. You know how evil the druids were.
That's what we ought to do.
They wore
We
those
need to
hoods
redeem
and
these
shit.
days, but that day was given over to satanic thing.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I mean...
So Pat Robertson it continues to be a fucking moron. Breaking news from the Drunken Peasants podcast.
Yes. You heard it here, but probably not first.
Tomorrow, I'm sure he'll realize the error of his ways.
He's probably watching right now.
Well, I know Pat Robertson is a fan of the Drunken Peasants. He likes
I'm
to
utterly exasperated.
masturbate
with
to the sound of my voice.
Republicans.
Oh, by the way, this is Mike Huckabee. He's mad
He's mad.
because
Grrr. Huckabee smash.
he's threatening to leave the Republican Party.
Dude, we need a giant constitution behind us.
I don't know. I kind of like the door behind you.
No, man. I need a giant we need like a big American flag or something patriotic behind me so people know how trustworthy and patriotic I am and how much I love America. This needs to be done, Ben.
I'm utterly exasperated.
Next week's show, I
with
expect a flag there.
Republicans and the so-called leadership of the Republicans who have abdicated on this issue when, if they continue this direction,
Right.
they guarantee they're going to lose every election in the future.
Yep.
Guarantee it. And I don't understand why they want to lose, because a lot of Republicans, particularly in the establishment and those who live on the either left coast or those who live up in the bubbles of New York and Washington, are convinced
The left
that
coast.
if we don't capitulate on the same-sex marriage issue, and if we don't raise the white flag of surrender and just accept the inevitable, then we're going to be losers. I tell you, Tim, it is
I mean, if you just look at the polling on the issue, that kind of is pretty sound logic that you'll be losers if you continue to embrace a policy that most people find archaic at this point.
Yeah, I think the religious right is losing some of its ground.
The religious right is losing a lot of its ground.
Yeah.
And people like Mike Huckabee who fucking want to, like, I hope that this kind of shit ultimately ends up, like, fracturing the Republican Party into two different entities.
Yeah, I would say a lot of younger conservatives are fine with the same-sex marriage issue. A lot of them. I wouldn't say that a majority, but there's quite a few of them that I've heard, even on Fox News. So
yeah, because they're trying to actually revitalize a party that's basically like the old white guy party at this point.
They've already changed on immigration a lot. You know, like the day after Obama got reelected, I listened to Sean Hannity, and he was the very next day he was talking about how Republicans needed to change on immigration because they knew that, you know, the majority of the Hispanic vote went to Obama.
I kind of wonder though if all that trumped up border crisis shit, you know, kind of backslid them, you know, because, you know, it was kind of like they had Rick Perry fucking begging Obama, like, come on, Obama, more border security, more border security. And as Scotty actually pointed out on last week's show, Obama has detained more people trying to cross the border than Bush ever did. So, I mean, like, border security has been tighter under Obama than it was under fucking Bush.
Yeah. They create a problem that's not really there. And people will, you know, they'll believe the soundbite that they heard from Rush Limbaugh.
And, you know, it's kind of like how, remember when Michael Jackson was still alive, every once in a while they would just do a story to remind you.
Wacko Jacko.
They'd just be like, they just do a story to remind you that Michael Jackson was crazy and did weird shit.
Yeah. But then after he died, he was like a fucking saint.
Yeah, he's like the venerated saint.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of what the Republican Party does at this point is they'll like find an issue that it's like, you know, the immigration issue's cooled down, but we'll figure out some way to act like, oh, it's worse than ever. You know, this issue is more important now than it ever was, and we're having a border crisis. And, you know, that's you even have, like, assholes like Wild Bill for America coming on and saying that fucking ISIS is in Mexico.
Yeah, we had that on our last show.
Yeah, it's not just the Mexicans coming to steal your jobs, it's ISIS coming to blow you up.
Somehow through Mexico. Like, they're letting ISIS in somehow.
Like Mexico's borders are just like Swiss cheese, and they don't fucking let, you know, anybody through or something.
Or
they let everybody through.
I got pulled over by Border Patrol driving near the border, not even trying to cross the border. You know, like there's people there wandering around, you know, doing checkpoints and shit like that. So even on our side of the border, when you have no intention of crossing it, it's pretty secure.
It's pretty hard to get into Mexico, honestly. It really, I mean, like, if you get into Mexico, like the first, like I think 15 miles or so into Mexico, there's just a little light border that you can cross into. But once you get 15 miles in, there's a pretty well guarded border that's hard to get through. That, you know, so I mean, like, the idea that ISIS can just easily get into Mexico and then come to America is pretty silly. I mean, also, like they're not going to draw any attention in Mexico or something.
Yeah. We've kind of digressed from this video.
Well, I mean, I think it's just kind of like weird. It's almost just like, well, Mexicans are dark and Muslims are dark, so you know, they could easily pass for one of them Mexicans over there and then cross over here. Anyway, go ahead and play the rest of the video.
All right.
Absolute opposite of that. And if the Republicans want to lose guys like me and a whole bunch of still God-fearing, Bible-believing people.
I've never gotten the term God-fearing and how that's cool that, you know, you're happy to worship a God that you're afraid of. I don't know.
It's the fear of love.
Yeah.
It's a very loving fear.
A loving fear
towards God.
That's awesome. But yeah, I like how he was talking about, you know, they're going to lose people like me. Maybe they want to. Maybe wouldn't that be the point of doing something like that, is to fucking get rid of the dead weight, like fucking Mike Huckabee? I mean, does Mike Huckabee say this shit with the impression that he has some great value to the Republican Party? I mean, he was a presidential candidate that didn't, you know, basically spun his wheels in the mud, and then they gave him a show on Fox News that's, I think, you know, one of their lesser rated shows, if I'm not mistaken. Probably.
And he's basically just another fucking talking head like Bill O'Reilly or Sean Hannity, and yet we're supposed to act like, oh no, the Republican Party, if they lose Mike Huckabee, they're doomed. They're doomed. I mean, they're not doomed. And in fact, you know, if it wasn't for gerrymandering, the Republicans wouldn't even fucking have a majority in the House. So
go ahead and just abdicate on this issue, and while you're at it, go ahead and say abortion doesn't matter either.
Right.
Because at that point, you lose me.
Abortion doesn't matter.
I'll become an independent.
Either.
I'll start finding people
Just for
that
the
have
record.
guts to stand. I'm tired of this.
Wow.
Yeah. So he said he'll go become an independent.
Oh well.
I like how he was trying to draw parallels between the same-sex marriage thing and the abortion thing. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Well, it's because it's basically what he's saying is like, even though we've lost on this issue and we lost a long time ago, let's keep harping on it. Let's keep trying to make it a thing. Let's keep trying to oppose something that most people don't even have an issue with, or even if they do have an issue with it, it's like it's their issue. You know, like a lot of people are personally against abortion but for abortion rights.
Right.
And it's just like basically a mind your own fucking business kind of policy. But these Republicans, they keep hammering away like, we got to fucking put an end to abortion. Millions of unborn children killed every year. And then they're going to do the same thing with the gay issue. The gay marriage will be legal across the United States, and these old fucking white uptight motherfuckers will still be sitting there like, no gay marriage. Oh, it's wrong, and we fear our God. And the magic sky man might not like it if we let gay people get married. That's basically all they got. And they'll just run that shit into the ground. Because that's what they do. They rile up fucking people in the Bible Belts. They rile up, you know, the religious fundy crowd. And they rile up the pseudo-religious fundy crowd, the people who want to pay lip service to fucking religion. And everyone gets all up in a huff about, you know, oh, my neighbor might be doing something that I personally don't approve of, so I better vote this way to stop them. And it's totally antithetical to the very concept of freedom that this country was founded upon. And yet this is the fucking party that's always shouting freedom from the highest hilltop. Freedom! Freedom! But for them, freedom is just like...
it's a fucking bumper sticker.
The freedom of fucking corporations to exploit us, basically. Is that what... I mean, that's the only freedom they fucking stand for. We want business freedom. We want the businessman to be able to bend America over the fucking table and fuck it in the ass, and that's the freedom they want. When it comes to actual personal liberties... they're the first people who say, no, 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 you can't do drugs, and you can't be gay, and you can't be Muslim, and you can't be an atheist, you can't be fucking anything according to them. It's basically freedom to be a fucking white, middle-class, God-fearing Christian patriot. Anything less than that, and nope, sorry.
So
what's next?
We got a lot of people telling us not to talk about G-Man, so
we're gonna do it.
You want to do that right now?
What is it?
Well, G-Man had a hangout with VenomFangx, and we were gonna play some of
Let's take a look at how that went.
Oh, and your friend True Empiricism was there too.
The smartest man I've ever met.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me a second. Hold up. Just give me a second.
They're trying to set stuff up.
I think True
right now.
Empiricism's about to go live, I think, though.
Okay, so we can talk about it later, or just save it and you'll figure it out.
What is wrong with Venom?
Oh, okay, it says
camera
Omega will
there?
talk to strangers. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
You can do video chat with strangers or text. I usually just use text.
What are they talking about?
I don't know. Who cares?
Okay,
Why is
I'll
it-
check
why
this
is
out after
even
the hangout.
included?
This is interesting.
G-Man's
know.
eyes look glassy.
All right. True, you want to...
All right.
Okay.
All right, we're live. Yeah, we're live, bro. We're ready live. Okay, what's up, everybody? We got VenomFangx right here, man. And G-Man.
I think True Empiricism's about to go live. I think so.
Yeah.
Somebody's got their thing going.
It's not me, I don't think.
It's not me.
Riveting stuff so far.
VenomFangx,
Yeah, it's me.
Shut up.
So I like to ask you a question, I suppose, first, if True doesn't mind. I mean, besides like what I see on your channel and the rumors and everything, like what's your experience been with these aggressive atheists on YouTube? Because my experience is that
Do you think I count as an aggressive atheist?
negative, and they're always. I mean.
I thought that was your name, the aggressive atheist.
Yeah, I should change that. Let's skip forward and see if they ever actually start talking about something other than like their mic settings. And
No,
shit.
this is when they start talking about it.
Okay, let's do it.
Always trying to get you to doubt your faith.
Well, that's their job, right? I mean, if they're an
It's
atheist,
not my,
they want
well,
you
I guess
to
it
be
is
an
my
atheist.
job, kind of. Yeah.
To get people to doubt their faith, or just to give your opinion? Because
You're really. I mean, it's like, I guess that if people, I don't really want people to doubt their faith. I want them to discard it entirely. Because, I mean, faith is basically a belief without evidence, and a belief without evidence is fucking just bullshit. You could have any belief without evidence. I mean, I believe I can fly.
I believe you can too.
I believe I can touch the sky. I mean, like, if I can believe that, there's nothing compelling about it. There's no fucking reason to think it's true. I mean, anybody can say anything. You can have faith in any fucking concept, no matter how ludicrous and ridiculous it is. I mean, apparently fucking Pat Robertson believes in goblins and jack-o'-lanterns. But jack-o'-lanterns are real. Or
Atheists
is it
too.
goblins?
Everyone's trying to recruit people to their side. Everyone's trying to convince people of their point of view. And when you can't do that, when you can't convince someone based on either argument or refutation, then you have to change your tactics to
I think it's
either
cute that
character
VenomFangx
assassination,
thinks he is
ad
able to
hominem
refute
attack,
things.
or
Yeah, because all I remember was him being refuted.
I know, right? He's easily the most refuted YouTuber of all time. I mean, back in the day, he used to be like the atheist training wheels. It was like, if you wanted to make a name for yourself, just make a really good ponage video of VenomFangx where you just tore his arguments apart.
Right, and he couldn't help himself but make responses to those videos.
I know, and that was great. And he'd get in these little wars with everybody, and he was so stupid. And it was basically like that's how you fucking got big in the atheist community back in the day.
Yeah.
It really was. That was like a gateway to popularity. Do a really fucking good video against VenomFangx, and I did a few of them. And everybody did. Everyone in the atheist community back in those days made some kind of video against VenomFangx. Thunderfoot fucking made his living on it for a while, just fucking going after VenomFangx. I mean, that's really what he did. That was like Thunderfoot's gig. Is he's the guy that fucking responds to VenomFangx, and now Thunderfoot's a huge YouTuber.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is that Jacqueline Glenn didn't even know who VenomFangx was, and then he made a video about her. So that you know,
well, yeah,
it's
I mean,
definitely
like,
changed.
He definitely doesn't have the name recognition now that he once did.
Yeah, but that's when a big channel had what, like 50,000 subscribers or something like that.
Well, I mean, he basically got just pwned into oblivion. I mean, we don't really use the word pwned too much anymore, but
yeah,
but that was what people called it at the time, and that's what he was. He was pwned into fucking oblivion, and he basically. Thunderfoot ran him off of YouTube because they basically proved that he was doing all sorts of nefarious shit, including like taking money from like children's charity, like raising money for children's charities and then keeping it for his fucking self.
Yeah, the video VenomFangx apologizes to the internets.
That's true.
It's a classic video.
They got him. They got him so dead to rights that he actually had to come on camera and read an apology that was scripted by Thunderfoot, where he confessed to all of his bullshit. And, you know, talked about all the things he'd done wrong. And, you know, he was gone for a while, and now he's back in the fucking swing of things. But, you know, we now see a lot
he's
more
hanging
of
out with these guys.
Right. You know, he's down on the G-Man level now.
Yeah.
But he's not the same fiery VenomFangx that he used to be, though. Like, he really seems like a more subdued, sort of castrated VenomFangx at this point. Yeah, like...
He's a eunuch.
His balls are gone. Like, because one thing you could always say for VenomFangx, as dumb as he was, as wrong as he was, as dishonest as he was, at least he had that gusto. He had that fucking spark. He had that fire to him.
He
where
did.
He would come out and preach the hellfire and brimstone, and you'd actually be kind of impressed with just the presentation of things.
Honestly, it was very rare that I would subscribe to someone that I didn't agree with, but I would subscribe to VenomFangx just to watch his crazy ass videos.
Right, and it was fucking fun. It was really a lot of fun. Like, even if you didn't believe a word of the fucking guy said, you fucking don't agree with him, you think he's an asshole, but he entertained you. But now he's really not the same person. He's just kind of like a shadow of his former self.
Poisoning the well. Whatever you can do to make the other side either look bad, look stupid, or get your own audience to tear them up. So I think what you see with the atheists on YouTube is a little bit of both. You have the one side that's trying to go about the discussion intellectually, which I appreciate. I love a dialogue. I love hearing people's point of view, and the better one can express that and actually use reason to do so, that's always engaging and challenging, and I embrace that. It's the darker side of the conversation that isn't a conversation at all. It's the
You're like Emperor Palpatine, TJ. The real antagonist of the prequels, or protagonist rather, of the prequels.
That's what I felt. I honestly, I mean, I don't know. This kind of is a huge aside, actually.
Right.
But I've always felt like the Star Wars prequels would have been infinitely better if they treated Emperor Palpatine as the main character and just chronicled his rise to power.
Right.
Rather than focusing on Anakin and Obi-Wan and all that boring shit with that totally forced fake romance and, you know, Yoda doing lightsaber stunt tricks and flips and all that nonsense. That was horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally neither here nor there. Let's skip a little bit ahead.
All right.
Let's see what they're talking about a few minutes in.
Pay very close attention to when they're dealing with the atheist community is
he
do not
sounds
let
like
them slide away. I mean,
God, he sounds like he's like perpetually got food in his mouth or something. Like he's eating a fucking donut as he's talking. That sounds good, actually.
Of course, we got to understand their side
donut.
because we're trying to win them to Christ. We're trying to convince them and compel them to the things that we're trying to present to them. So we have to be open to them if they're saying that they have some doubts towards things, but many people use this as a sort of duck and dodge attempt. So I just disbelieve, so the burden of proof is not on me. Well, very clearly there's an intent and tone behind the things that they're trying to push off, if you get what I'm trying to say. How they conduct themselves is not how they should be described. There are other definitions that should be taken into consideration. Denial of the existence of God doctrine, that there is no God, you can find this in Webster Dictionary, all sorts of different dictionaries. These more so better fit their position. And, I think that this is something that a lot of people need to take into consideration. What do you think about this, guys?
I think it's a bunch of fucking babble, personally. I think it's a lot of, like, sophist bullshit. I mean, it's not even important. He's like, It's a semantics argument where he's quibbling over the definition of the word atheism.
They do that with definition bullshit.
Right. I mean, like, you ever notice that? Like, every time we have G-Man on, he's, like, obsessed with defining terms. Like, we gotta define that term. And then you fucking define it for him. And he's like, no, it actually means this. And then the argument can't proceed because we won't even agree on a fucking definition of the word.
He likes to start his argument with questions a lot too. Like, let me ask you a question first.
Yeah, and then he doesn't give a fuck about your answer. He'll start an argument, and then he'll ask you a question. You'll have your answer, and then he'll twist it into his own answer because he has a fucking answer in his head already.
You are your own God.
Yeah, that shit.
You are your own God.
Asking Dusty, like, are you the final authority in your life? Yes. Then you're a god. How can you be an atheist if you're your own god? It's like, I don't agree with your definition of what a god is.
Exactly.
Like, you're fucking being stupid. And that's no one's definition of a god is something that can make a fucking decision. A slug on the bottom of the sea can make a decision. Turn left, turn right, eat the fucking plankton. What does it matter?
He did admit, though, that if a judge sentenced me to death, then the judge would be my god.
So he's basically saying that every bucking buddy is a god. And that's what he actually did come out and say that everyone is a little god. So we're all a bunch of little gods worshiping a big god.
Wow.
And what does that make like lower
I thought that
animals?
Mormons believed that. Like, don't you become like the god of your own planet?
Maybe G-Man is a Mormon.
No, he says Mormons aren't real Christians. But anyway, back to Trumpism.
He's not a real Christian, though.
I think it's a great chart. I think it's a great way to put it. I often, when engaging an atheist, although I've never seen that chart before, I guess it's occurred to me to ask them, all right, so you don't believe in God, or so they say, or they say there is no God. I like when they take such a strong stance, because then it allows you to then ask the other parts.
I have it covered up with the overlay, but VenomFangx's camera is like the worst fucking camera ever.
Yeah, it's continuously failing.
Of the chart. So you say there is no God, but you know, do you believe that there that you could be wrong? Their epistemology.
I mean, anyone can be wrong about anything.
Right.
Is the problem. Like every fucking atheist I've ever talked to has admitted that you can't 100% prove there is no God. That's like one of the most commonly addressed points in every that was one of the points addressed in the fucking God delusion. I mean, how long ago was the God delusion at this point?
I can guarantee VenomFangx has never read the God delusion.
But I mean, it's like it's one of the cornerstones of the new atheism movement, though, is the refutation of the very point they're bringing up, and they're still bringing it up as if it hasn't been responded to, as if it hasn't been responded to ad nauseum 1 billion fucking times by 1 billion different fucking atheists out there. And yet they're still just hammering away at the same old bullshit. You can't prove there's no God. It's like, how many times do we have to fucking address this point? How many times do we have to explain to you that God is an unfalsifiable hypothesis? Just like leprechauns or unicorns. You can't disprove those either. There's plenty of things you can't disprove. Simply because you can't disprove something is not compelling evidence to believe it.
Is at odds with their beliefs in many cases. So they make these strong statements about which category they're in, and yet at the same time, depending on what their epistemology is, they can find themselves either lacking belief or having belief if they don't use their definitions carefully. So.
Suck it!
God, his camera sucks.
What do you guys say about
What the hell is going on with that?
I mean, it's flickering.
He should say that he's going to donate money to a children's hospital and just buy a new camera.
No, say he's going to... Ebola's the new thing. So
Oh.
say he's going to donate money to fight Ebola, and then he'll get a new camera, and he can preach the gospel and say that the gospel will protect the world from Ebola. So he's technically fulfilling his obligation. What does that say? Nice to see an episode where TJ is docile. Am I docile?
Are you?
I guess I'm being more subdued than
Do we
usual.
need to play something that pisses you off? Like
this I think this is boring me to death is the problem.
Okay.
Why don't we let's skip like an hour in and see what they're talking about.
This thing is 2 hours long, by the way.
So let's see what they're talking about an hour into this shit. Because we've already kind of responded to everything they're discussing right now.
Oh, God, they have a whole bunch
Wow, there's a whole bunch of people in there now. Let's see what's going on.
You want to do that?
Yeah, just let's see what's happening. I guess there's an atheist in there now.
Yet you give it free will when you actually know that it's going to be used against you. So he basically puts the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the garden, knowing that man's going to basically go and be the kid that shouldn't touch the stove when it's on fire.
Well, no, not merely the stove. Keep this in mind. If God knows that in your own heart you will at some point choose to depart from him, why wouldn't God, because he is a loving God and he wants you to be able to make your own choices, to be yourself, why wouldn't God give you that ability and that choice? After all, that's what you wanted.
Well, hold on. If God knows that your choice to do something is inevitable, then how is it really even a choice? I mean, if you're inevitably going to make a particular choice, then that undermines the entire concept of free will. And by the way, since God is the creator of man to begin with, why would we have been created with this flaw where we need to eat this fruit from the tree of knowledge? Why would we even have the urge to do that and disobey him? I mean, we're his creation, right? So if he created us, then why did he create our nature thusly that our fall was inevitable, which is basically what fucking VenomFangx is saying right here. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And these Christians are always fucking toting free will, like, oh, free will, God gave us free will. But I mean, if you actually believe VenomFang's interpretation of the story of Genesis, then free will is impossible.
But you would think he would also give you a broad perspective of what your actual decision entails.
And he did. He told him you would die.
Yeah, he gave him a basic line. That's what I said he would. That's just my assumption, that he would give you a broad picture and let you actually understand what the consequences are either way.
Well, he told him what the consequence was, death. And death was understood by the one. Now, you have to keep in mind, there was two persons.
Oh, man, his fucking camera's going to give me a seizure.
And you know, actually, like, how would Adam and Eve actually understand what death is, since they lived in a world where it wasn't even a concept anyway?
Right, because no one had died yet, since they were the only people?
Well, no, but I mean, also, everything in the garden was immortal, right? I mean...
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, like, the reason we get old and die and all that other shit and suffer is because Adam and Eve chose to eat the fucking forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden.
Didn't Adam live to be like 1,000 years old or something like that? Didn't they live like really long?
Well, all the guys in the Bible did. They all lived to be like 1,000 and 968 and 842. And all that shit. So I guess that human lifespans have gotten kind of shorter over time.
Yeah.
Because now we're lucky if we make it to fucking 80.
Yeah, and when they wrote the Bible, they were lucky if they made it to 40. So I don't know where they got that from.
What was going on with the people who wrote the Bible when the human lifespan was so short? They made the lifespans of all these early people so long. Like, what's even the deal with that? I mean, I don't even get why that was a thing. I guess, back then people were more pious or something, more close to the day that, the Garden of Eden. I mean, and by the New Testament, that shit was gone, because, I mean, even Jesus only lived to be like 28 or 29. I mean, of course, he was killed.
Right.
But, it seems like the lifespans were a lot shorter by then, and it's never even really explained anywhere in the Bible why those lifespans were so long at that time.
Right. Yeah, I never understood that.
I don't get it either.
Yeah.
Be interesting to fucking read like a thesis on that or some shit.
Like, it's one of the most fucked up things I had ever heard of in the Bible, because at the time the Bible was written, people were not living that long at all. They had way shorter lifespans than we have now.
I mean, like, can you imagine being a fucking 946-year-old man or something?
Not if you get
if you age at the same basic rate. I mean, and if either you age at the same rate and you just get really fucking disgustingly old to the point where you're fucking just like a mound of fucking dust and fucking skin is like. I mean, or if you age like slower, does that mean that these guys went through like puberty for fucking 40 years and shit?
40 years of puberty, 40 years of wet dreams.
Doesn't sound too bad.
It's pretty fucked up.
In this situation, you have Adam and Eve. Eve was deceived. Okay, so we can talk about what happened with her, but you need to make that distinct from what happened with Adam. Adam was not deceived. He knew exactly what he was doing and what the consequence was going to be, and he did it anyways.
So why was Eve punished if she was deceived and she didn't understand the consequences of her actions?
A better question is, why was humanity for the rest of eternity punished for their actions with original sin?
Well, that's like the Bible is full of that kind of shit, though. Like the sins of the father will be visited upon the son, and it says for 7 generations, but obviously in this case
that's eternity.
If you assumed that the Bible is true, it would be from the inception of the species until the end of the species that we suffer the repercussions of their actions. You know, because apparently their moral failing, you know, condemned us all forever. But I mean, of course, we can be saved and everything through the blood of Christ.
Yeah, but don't they also agree though that Jews can get into heaven if they follow all their laws and shit, but they have like a loophole?
I think it kind of depends on which kind of Christians you're talking about.
I see.
Because I mean, I know that some Christians believe that, probably others do not. I mean, it's not like Christianity is one monolithic religion
Obviously
with one
not.
fucking belief structure.
No,
I mean,
there's too many.
There's Christians out there that think that fucking I, as an atheist, can get to heaven as long as I'm a good person and don't fucking, you know, like kill people or shit.
I would say G-Man does not think that they are real Christians.
G-Man doesn't think anyone's a real Christian.
Except for him. And
G-Man thinks he's a Christian, and anyone who agrees with him is a Christian, and anyone who doesn't is a fucking imposter, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, when they did it, they didn't believe that was going to be the consequence.
No, Adam knew. The Bible says clearly was not deceived. He knew 100% what was going to happen.
I don't think it said. Where does it say that? Can you give the verse?
Where it says Adam was not deceived? Yes.
Yes.
No, and where he knew the consequences, that he knew even.
Well, that's what it means to not be deceived.
I know, but even.
Well, no, it doesn't say anywhere in the story that Adam went ahead and ate
G-Man tried to talk for a second there.
Yeah, that's funny. When G-Man can't even get a word in, it's like, what the fuck? Because G-Man is always just like talking over everybody.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's being so quiet.
I think it's because he's intimidated. Because like to him, when he like VenomFangx is like this lofty intellectual
Does he have like a
in his
man
mind.
crush on him? Is it hashtag G-Man VenomFangx man crush?
It's not even a man crush thing. It's just a matter of like to him, VenomFangx is like this authority figure. Like, oh, VenomFangx is here talking to little old me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why he's being all quiet and subdued, because he feels like, oh, I'm outclassed here.
It doesn't say.
We should try to get VenomFangx on the show.
Well, that's what it means to not be deceived. So, because what was the deception?
It doesn't say that.
If he gets a better camera.
Okay. The question is, what was the deception? Because if Adam was not deceived and Eve was, then what was the deception?
I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of deceptive to say that if you eat this fruit, you'll die. I mean, that wasn't really the consequence. I mean, maybe death was one of the consequences, but I mean, there was...
It gave them the knowledge of good and evil.
Right. I mean, like, God never said that. God never said that if you eat this fruit, you're kicked out of the garden. God never said if you eat this fruit, you're going to have to suffer all these consequences, and women are going to have to fucking go and be... you know, the compliant, and men are going to have to toil, and he never mentioned any of that shit. The only thing he said is, eat of that fruit and you will die. A concept they had no fucking prayer of understanding. Prayer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, God really did misrepresent the consequences if you look at Scripture. So, of course they were fucking deceived.
I don't think they were deceived. The serpent told them the truth about the fruit.
No, of course not. Okay, so you asked for the verse. Let me give you the verse. 1 Timothy 2:14. It says, Adam was not the one deceived. It was the woman who was deceived and became a sinner. Okay, so Eve was deceived. The woman was told in the day God told Adam, "In the day you eat of the fruit, you will die." The serpent came to the woman and said, "You will not surely die."
Well,
that was the deception.
That's not in Genesis. And
yes, it is.
But they didn't surely die.
Well, what's the?
They didn't. Like, God makes it sound like the fruit's poison. Like if you eat this, you're dead.
Yeah, they died like hundreds of years later.
Yeah, like Adam ate the fruit, and 900-something years later, he died. Well, it was a spiritual death. Oh, okay.
They realized they were naked, and all of a sudden that was a bad thing. Like,
holy shit, my dick is hanging out. How long has this been going on?
Yeah.
Who was there to even see him naked, though? I mean, it was just Eve.
They saw each other, and they had, presumably had already had sex before.
Yeah, like, I mean, couples don't typically feel ashamed to be naked in front of each other, so it still doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not like there was a bunch of other people there like, holy shit, look at those two naked people.
I always wondered where Cain and Abel's wives came from.
Yeah, like Adam and Eve are the first two people. They have two kids, Cain and Abel, and with only 4 people on the planet, we have our first murder.
Right.
Cain kills Abel.
So now 3 people.
Then Abel then Cain goes off because he's condemned. Like, you're fucking banished. Again, because God was big on banishing people. First, Adam and Eve are banished from the garden, and then fucking Cain is banished from wherever the fuck they went after the garden. And he goes off, and he goes to there's a town, and he fucking gets a wife, and he has kids.
Where was this town?
Where the fuck did the town come? Where's a town? Where? When did this happen? That's a plot hole.
Verse in Genesis. You went to 1 Timothy, which is the New Testament.
No. Okay, so 1 Timothy is where it says Adam was not the one deceived. You asked where's the verse that says Adam was not the one deceived. That's what 1 Timothy 2:14 says. Adam was not the one deceived, it was the woman.
That doesn't apply. Adam knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, that was my question.
I'm explaining to you.
You say he only knew.
Let's skip ahead. We've already fucking dwelled on this one.
Do you want to go on to another video? Or?
Let's try one more spot in this one first, and then we'll move on. Let's go towards the end and see what's happening.
And evil because they had no moral distinctions to make. It was purely a choice to be with God or not.
We're still talking about that shit. Let's move on to the next video because we already fucking
Wow, I
covered
can't believe
this.
they talked about this for 2 hours. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, this probably more like 1 hour, but it's a pretty long time to keep dwelling on that very beginning part.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah. So, TJ, you told me when I asked you earlier, you have not yet seen the Simpsons Family Guy crossover.
No, I didn't even know it had aired yet.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Definitely more Family Guy than Simpsons in it. It was more violent and sexual than the Simpsons would ever be. But it was pretty awesome. And the Vigilant Christian believes.
And Quagmire rapes Marge in the ass, correct?
No.
Oh, okay. That was just been a rumor I read online.
Really?
No, I just made it up on the spot.
Okay.
But whatever.
The Vigilant Christian thinks it's the Illuminati.
Well, of course he does. The Vigilant Christian, what the fuck doesn't the Vigilant Christian think is the Illuminati?
But he suffers from anxiety.
Oh, well, now I feel bad. We'll watch it.
Yeah. Awesome intro.
They're brainwashing us. Illuminati media exposed. They're brainwashing us still. Illuminati media exposed again.
Hey everyone, it's the Vigilant Christian Mario, and you're here for another edition of Illuminati Media Exposed. In today's video, I wanted to expose the recent Family Guy Simpsons crossover episode because it is absolutely being used by the Illuminati to brainwash the masses in preparation for the plans and the agenda of this satanic cabal. So I knew this was going to happen since these two shows are often used by the satanic secret cabal of the Illuminati to brainwash the masses. And since they brought them together, I knew absolutely this one would be chock full of Illuminati messages and symbols, and it is. So in today's video,
do you think when he's like watching this stuff You ever think he laughs at the jokes and stuff, or you think he just like sits there really like stoic and stone faced with a notebook, like jotting shit down? Like,
I don't know. I've seen videos where he talks about how he used to smoke weed and stuff like that. So I don't know. Does he sit around and laugh at things, or does he is he very stoic all the time now that he's found Jesus?
I feel like. I feel like he just sits there with a notebook and like maybe even records this shit and then just goes through it like frame by frame afterwards, like looking for shit. Let's see what they hid in this episode.
So he sits there and just like cracks the code, basically.
Remember that time that the Vigilant Christian thought that God had called him away from YouTube and he left for like a year?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the best. That was his best year on YouTube. I think he should go back to that.
Expose that all to you. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is the episode starts with the Griffins coming to Springfield. Welcome to Springfield, and they're welcomed by the Eye in the Pyramid, which is obviously a Illuminati symbol. For those of you who don't know, it's on the back of the dollar bill. It has nothing to do with America. This is Egyptian occult satanic Luciferian symbology that is on the back of the dollar bill, which is a symbol of the Illuminati. This satanic's cult desire for a new world order. Annuit Conceptus Novus Ordo Seclorum, which basically means a new world order.
Wait a minute.
No surprise.
Novus Ordo Seclorum. Does that mean New World Order? I thought it meant. No, I guess it might. I'm thinking of something else. Can we look it up?
What is it again?
Novus Ordo Seclorum. I want to know what the best translation of that is.
Isn't it Order of the Ages?
I've heard that it was like out of one many or something, but that might be a different Latin phrase.
Yeah, it says it's Latin for New Order of the Ages.
So it would be strange. Yeah, so of course it would be strange for a new country that's just starting out to embrace a motto like a new order for the ages.
You mean like Rome?
Yeah, I mean like America, like the founding of America. Like it's obvious why they said New World Order, because it was a new fucking country, and it's not New World Order. It's New Order for the Ages.
Because in previous episodes, we were shown the truth hidden in plain sight that Matt Groening is an Illuminist. He's part of the secret
Matt
society.
Groening?
He got famous.
He was a cartoonist.
It's Matt Groening.
Yeah.
And he was he drew silly cartoons. He drew the Life is Hell cartoons.
Right.
That's all he was. He was a simple cartoonist who fucking happened to get a show popular. I mean, The Simpsons started as a Tracy Ullman shorts.
Yeah, they were the bumpers between commercials.
Right. So, it just happened to get its own show, and it happened to be one of the most popular and long-lasting television shows of all time. It's not, there was no, like, conspiracy behind it. There was no, like, oh, well, they're just forcing this on us so that they can, shove this symbolism down our throat.
Yeah, obviously this episode that he's showing here was one where Homer basically joins the Freemasons.
Right, and they actually make fun of people like the Vigilant Christian in this episode who believe, like, there's actually a song in there, it's like, where they sing a song about how they secretly control the world and shit, and, like, rig the Oscars, and, the British royal family are puppets, and all these government, all the highest ranking government officials belong, and all this shit.
Through joining himself to the secret brotherhood that runs the entertainment industry. He hides it in plain sight for people to see in an episode of The Simpsons where Homer joins a secret society. You even see him taking an oath. There's the eye in the square, or the eye in the pyramid in the background, and the compass and square, which is a Freemasonic symbol in
Right, don't you understand that that's what they're parodying here?
Right,
this is a parody.
That's why those symbols are used there, because these are symbols that people like you typically do associate with fucking secret societies. Like, that explains their inclusion right there. I mean, the eye in the pyramid, I fucking sketch that shit in my notebooks all the time. Like, if I'm just, like, doodling and shit, I'll draw the fucking eye in the pyramid. It's not because I fucking work for the Illuminati. It's just because it's an interesting fucking looking symbol. It's very striking.
Earlier, he said it was a satanic symbol. I don't know how Egyptian things are satanic. Is it just because it's not Christian? That
Well,
it's...
you know, the Egyptians all worship Satan. so-
Apparently.
Masonry, and you just see them, here they are, just celebrating their inner Illuminati secret society, the Brotherhood of the Ancient Mysteries. And you obviously see the Illuminati symbolism, as I just referred to, the eye in the pyramid. You can see that they've used...
This has nothing to do with the Family Guy episode yet. This is all... He's only showed clips from the episode where Homer joins.
Dude, that's why I hate these Vigilant Christian videos, because... whatever little point he has, he always takes the longest possible route to it. And by the time he gets there, you fucking bashed your brains out in frustration. And usually boredom. It's like, ow, my soul. Every fucking time I listen to this fucking boring twat. All he does is yammer on.
Previous shows as well, the eye in the pyramid to symbolize
Right.
Homer's allegiance to a secret society.
You
known
found
as
an
the
eye in a
Stonecutters,
pyramid in the fucking
aka
episode. Good
an
job.
Illuminati secret brotherhood.
Okay.
So we've seen the Simpsons show us hidden in plain sight before that they are
Okay.
Illuminati. And again,
Okay.
welcome to Springfield. The Illuminati is here. So this is a symbol at the very start as they are entering in Springfield to identify that Springfield, that the cartoon The Simpsons, is in fact created by Matt Groening, an Illuminist who joined himself to a secret society, took an oath in order to create cartoons for the cabal to brainwash the masses in preparation for the Antichrist kingdom. This is the eye of Lucifer, the eye of spiritual enlightenment to the Luciferians, and their symbology is right in front of your eyes, hidden in popular cartoons as a way to subconsciously
I love how it
brainwash
can't
you.
just be
Now-
that the like, it can't be that this is popular and so like some higher up official is, you know, forcing these Illuminati symbols in there or something. His narrative is that Matt Groening actually joined the secret society so that he could make cartoons for them. Like, your job is you will make a popular animated television show that will last for many years, and you will fill it with brainwashing material so that our power can be solidified down the line somehow, because if people see this imagery and are, you know, subtly brainwashed by it, they will be prepared for the coming of the Illuminati order. And,
I love the picture that's up here. It's like...
why Illuminati male stars dress up as women exposed.
Did he actually make that video? I can't believe I missed that one. I'll have to watch that one.
I don't know. It's very satanic, though.
Yeah, it is.
The one thing I want to point out in the episode that struck me is they have a scene here where you actually see Homer and Peter dressed up as women and they are washing cars. Now, this is very important, and I just covered this.
Well, they're not necessarily dressed as women there. I mean, they're wearing revealing clothing, but it's not like, there's nothing inherently, like, feminine about that, really. Like, obviously... You know, like, this part of the joke, but I mean, they're not like wearing dresses and fucking wigs and shit. I mean, they're just wearing like short shorts and fucking like these tops that are barely like covering any of their fucking, you know. And Peter and Homer both do have tits, though.
In another video I did, why the Illuminati male stars dress up as women exposed. If you remember, there was Dave Chappelle who was offered $50 million to do a third season of The Chappelle Show. He was also asked to get in a dress. He refused. He went to Africa and he just shut down the Illuminati deal. There was no way he was getting dressed up as a woman, and there was no way...
Hold on. Dave Chappelle went to Africa and stopped an Illuminati deal? Is that what he just said?
Yes. Well, he said that he didn't take the deal of the Illuminati, but it's kind of weird because Dave Chappelle is actually a Muslim. So,
is he?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
He was selling his soul. So Dave Chappelle didn't do it. Check out my video on Dave Chappelle, all on that on my channel. But what I want to point out here is, like Dave Chappelle said, there's this weird thing in the entertainment industry where the popular males need to dress up as women oftentimes. This is to degrade them because they are puppets. They have signed a deal to do absolutely anything for fame and fortune. And one of the ways that their masters degrade them is by...
I like how he's showing Tom Hanks, because the thing with Tom Hanks, being dressed up like a woman. That was from Bosom Buddies, and that was the first ever sitcom that Tom Hanks ever did. He was not like a powerful, Hollywood actor at the time. That was like his first television role. So
I don't understand. I guess I don't understand the significant. Like he doesn't like men dressing as women. That's not done for like a comedic purpose or just for like the sake of like, oh well, look at how this actor can portray a female character, successfully. It's none of that. It's to degrade them because the Illuminati has to let them know like you're our bitch. So does that mean that all these entertainers know about the Illuminati and they're just like sucking at the fucking tits of Satan or something?
Yes, that's his point.
So every single and like none of them have ever exposed it either. Not one fucking actor has ever come forward and say, "Hey guys, gotta tell you, Hollywood's controlled by the Illuminati."
They die before they get the chance to tell.
I see.
By having them dress up as women. Now, this is seen in the scene here in the crossover episode, and do notice right here that we see the satanic hand sign done by Peter. This is not coincidence, this is symbolism. What we're actually seeing here is subliminal imagery of homosexual sex between Peter and
He also has 6
Homer.
fingers.
This is exactly.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah, no, he's holding his two arms together. And he's like,
oh, is he
doing that? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's not. He's not even doing the symbol he's talking about then.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, he's holding a sponge and he's like, wringing the water out over Homer's ass.
Yeah, Homer's got a pretty nice ass there.
It's all shiny.
Yeah.
What's going on. As you can see the position here, I do apologize for having to show you this disgusting
no wonder
imagery,
Marge stays with him.
but this is obviously to symbolize satanic homosexual sex between 2 Illuminati puppets, Matt Groening and the creator of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, symbolized here with
There's
their
no
2 main
D,
characters
Seth
doing
MacFarlane.
this. Now, the Bible very clearly says that it is not right for a woman to be dressed in a man's clothing or for a man to put on a woman's robe. Whoever does such thing is disgusting to the Lord your God. This is a satanic abomination before God, and it is no surprise that the Illuminati puppet creator.
It's not that the morals and values of society have changed and evolved. It's that these shows are deliberately fucking mocking God. That's what's going on here.
Peter Griffin's chin looks like a pair of testicles, too.
It always has.
Yeah.
Of these cartoon shows to brainwash the masses are hiding that symbolism right in front of your face. Here they have one abomination, which is to have men dress up as women, and the second abomination is to symbolize the gay sex. If you don't believe me that they're trying to symbolize gay sex between Homer and Peter, you really need to pay attention. They show us this in another scene as well in the episode. So here they're...
Yeah, this is where they're drinking gasoline. I can't remember why. Obviously they're like 2 of the dumbest characters in television history. They're like drinking gas, and then later on they realize that they have to put it up their ass for some reason. So they take their jeans off and they're ready to like put the gas nozzle up their ass.
I've done that before.
Drinking gas, but then they look over at a car that's inserting the gas and they recognize that they're doing it incorrectly. The next scene that's showed is gasin sexin, which is gay sex. Do you see that? Gas sex, gay sex between Homer and Peter Griffin. So the Illuminati...
I'm running out of ways to describe how fucking stupid this is. Can we just move on? Like
gas
this is
sexin.
This is like, I mean, every video he does is the same exact fucking shit. The Bible says this show did that, therefore satanic Illuminati. Every time. That's his entire shtick. That's all he fucking does. Anyone could make this shit. I should start making these fucking videos. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking make a video about how the Vigilant Christian is an Illuminati puppet. And I'm going to show a compelling case, equally as compelling as anything he's ever fucking done. You're not going to stop the skeletons, Ben.
It's fucking skeletons. All right. So, Ben Affleck, I think he went into Batman mode when he was on Real Time with Bill Maher.
Let's see it.
Okay. Now,
You're a liar, Ben.
We're back.
You're a fucking liar.
Fuck it!
I decide when we're back.
No,
bitch.
you don't.
Yes,
you
I
don't fucking
do.
decide shit.
I decide.
You're scum.
I decide.
You're
when we're
filth,
back.
Ben.
Ben.
You're filth, Ben.
Damn it.
Damn it, Ben. God damn it, Ben. Pat
All right.
Buchanan.
Yeah, some Fox News clips that we picked up because it was a slow news day on CNN.
No.
You know, the Carlton dance is back.
The Carlton dance is back.
Welcome back to Hannity.
Bigger than ever.
Americans want to do everything
not working.
possible to keep the deadly
Oh.
Ebola virus from reaching our shores and
We'll try
creating
Sean
reloading.
Hannity sucks so bad that even the computer's like, nah,
Nah.
I don't want to.
We'll try and reload it and see if it works.
Sean Hannity reloaded.
There you go.
Hannity, so you think that all Americans want to do everything possible to keep the deadly Ebola virus from reaching our shores and creating
Wait a minute.
widespread epidemic?
So if he wants
So-
to do everything possible, shouldn't we just like bomb Africa?
He's setting the premise for like everything he's about to say. If you don't agree with everything he's about to say, then you don't want to stop Ebola from coming here.
I know, but like
You're fine with it coming here.
I mean, obviously there's a gradient of different responses that are possible.
Yes.
And he's not at the most extreme fringe, so couldn't someone who fucking wants to just like blow up, like nuclear bomb every fucking spot that the Ebola virus has ever been, wouldn't someone like that be able to just look down on Sean Hannity and say like, well, you don't want to do everything possible to stop the Ebola virus, do you, Sean Hannity?
Epidemic, but not some left-wing liberals over at NBC News.
I was stunned by how many felt the solution was to completely cut off Africa. No visas, no travel, keep them out. And this is completely missing the point. The hysteria should not be about one person in Dallas. What the world should be hysterical about is that Africa is facing its greatest catastrophic crisis, arguably since the days of slavery. This could turn into carnage.
That's kind of bullshit, because I mean, Africa has faced many fucking crises between now and slavery, between slavery and now. I mean,
famine, AIDS,
starvation.
Yeah.
The AIDS epidemic has been worse than the Ebola epidemic by far. It's killed far more Africans than Ebola probably ever will.
A whole region if the world does not assist immediately.
That will never work. Keeping them out would not work. And the idea that you can keep out a whole group of people who are America's partners, whether we like it or not, West African nations are partners with this country.
Well, and trying to do that is racist. Let's just be frank about it.
It is
Racist.
borderline, racism and fear.
Racism. Now, it isn't just a few liberals who have it wrong when it comes
Liberals.
to Ebola. As guest says,
They love that
liberals.
word. They love the word.
Liberals. You're a liberal. Ben, you're a liberal. Ben, you want to know why you're wrong?
Because I'm a liberal?
No.
No.
Because you're a liberal.
Oh, like...
You got to say it like that.
our very own government is thinking globally instead of patriotically on this very important issue.
What's wrong
Here
with
to
that?
explain is the author of
Sorry,
the
hold
bestseller,
on.
The
What's wrong with thinking globally rather than patriotically, especially when we have a world economy and we live, as Bill Hicks said, it's a round fucking world last time I checked. Right? I mean,
greatest comeback.
does it really make, I mean, like, he's basically saying, like, we should just put our interests before the interests of everyone else in every situation, and that's just always the appropriate fucking response, is just to be the nation of selfish fucking assholes. And I mean, like, it doesn't work that way anymore. And you know, trying to fucking put a big fence around Africa and say, oh, well, keep the fuck out of here, that's not going to fucking do anything. I mean, that's not going, this is going to, if this is going to spread, it's going to spread. They're not going to stop it. You know, what happens when it spreads to fucking Europe or something? Are we going to restrict travel visas from there? Are we just going to restrict air travel in general? Are we just going to fucking, like, cower over this fucking virus that has afflicted one fucking person so far in America? We've had one case of Ebola and the entire country loses its fucking shit. Americans are just a bunch of fucking pussies. We're a nation of scaredy cats who freak out over every little fucking thing that happens. Oh, one guy in Texas got the fucking Ebola virus. And now it's like, oh, shit.
I'll tell you what.
We're all going to die. The Ebola virus is just going to sweep like wildfire across America.
At that hospital that he went to, they were pretty fucking stupid, though, how they let him go. Like, they didn't use any caution with him at all. That was pretty ridiculous. Like,
sure, I mean,
a guy with Ebola shows up at a hospital and they're like, "You're all right, go home."
Well, they're not exactly fucking prepped and trained how to do that, honestly.
Right.
I mean, the Ebola virus in America is like an unheard of thing, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be taken seriously and we shouldn't treat it with precaution, but I mean, like, the entire, like, when we went into the Fox News website, it's like nothing but Ebola news. The Ebola virus. 800 people a day are calling the CDC to complain about the Ebola virus. Like, people all over the place are like thinking, maybe this person has the Ebola virus. Maybe this person has the Ebola virus. No, just still one fucking guy in Texas.
Hold on, we got to listen to what Pat Buchanan, who wrote a book about Richard Nixon, what he thinks.
The America's most beloved president,
yes,
Richard Nixon.
How Richard Nixon rose from defeat to create the new majority, Patrick J. Buchanan. So now it's racist, Pat. Somehow we don't want Ebola in America, and if you want a travel ban, somehow that is racist. Surprise you?
No, it really doesn't. I used to work over at one of those networks. Look,
that actually
Sean,
was your former network, but I wasn't going to mention that little non-fact.
Well, look, let's just take the individuals and what they said. It is maximum absurdity. Look, the first duty of a government, any government, is to protect the lives and safety and health of its people.
What is going
One of those
on?
folks
Is that
said,
does he have like a mole on his eyelid? It
don't
keeps
know.
distracting me, man. I keep thinking it's a bug trying to crawl into his fucking eye. Oh well, keep going.
that we just heard talked about carnage over there, catastrophic disease passing through that country. Why in heaven's name wouldn't you want to protect our country from what unhappily is happening over there?
To me, this is a no-brainer.
Okay, it's not a matter of not. It's not a matter of not protecting. It's just a matter of like, what is the level of appropriate response? Is the level of appropriate response to one case of a fucking rare disease cropping up in America that actually has a lot of trouble fucking spreading, honestly? There's a reason that Ebola has been around for a long time, but there hasn't been an outbreak until now, because it's actually pretty fucking hard to spread. It would be especially hard to spread in a fucking Western country like America. It's not going to fucking just take off like wildfire across the fucking United States. And even if it was, I mean, we can take precautions, but right now, a fucking travel restriction to these countries is just completely premature. There's other precautions you could fucking take.
Yeah, it seems kind of odd that these two like rich white guys want to keep all the black people out, you know.
And then, but then if we say that, hey guys, that sounds like kind of like it might be sort of racist.
Kind of, maybe.
And they're like, racist? You just don't care about protecting America. America, land of the free, home of the brave.
Similar sentiment that was expressed by Thomas Sowell. He said, the safety of the American people is taking second place to the goal of helping people overseas. And then he says, what it says about Obama, he says it suggests that he takes his conception of himself as a citizen of the world more seriously than he takes as his role as the President of the United States. Do you agree with that?
I agree 100%. What I said the other day is
something negative about Obama. Do you agree? Yes, I do.
100%.
100%. Here's something that someone else said. Do you agree? Yes, I do. 100%. I agree with that statement because it is against Obama, and I am a Republican.
Globally. Our first duty is to our families. It's to one another. Sean, when I was a kid, we had 9 children in the Buchanan family, 2 parents. We were regularly quarantined for measles, mumps, scarlet fever, and things like that, and chicken pox. It wasn't because they disliked Catholic families, large families. It was to protect the community. You know, the post-World War II generation, the greatest generation, had common sense. What we are seeing now is an utter absence of common sense when people talking about, look, you know, we got to open the doors to people who are good people.
I mean,
but
if
they're
there
carrying-
were like 100 cases in America of Ebola or something like that, if it was spreading like wildfire from fucking sea to shining sea, then this kind of talk would make absolute sense. They'd be fucking totally right to be saying we need to restrict travel to these countries and we need to enact all these quarantines. But they're one fucking case.
Yeah,
One fucking guy gets the Ebola virus and these motherfuckers completely lose their fucking shit. Like, we need to quarantine Africa now. Holy shit, before it gets us the Ebola. People used to have common sense. God damn it, can't you see how much sense this makes? I mean, these
deadly.
Like Pat Buchanan, like someone needs to just beat him in the head with a shoe for a while.
It looks like that would be fun.
Just like really, like I mean, like looking at him now, I just want to take my shoe off and what do you think now, Pat? Boom, boom, boom. If he's still forming sentences, keep beating.
Disease that's comparable to the bubonic plague.
You know, we had a doctor on last night that says that we're purposely being lied to stop a fear or a panic. The LA Times, of all places, quoted Dr. C.J. Peters. He battled the 1989 outbreak of Ebola, and he said he would not rule out the possibility that it spreads through the air in tight quarters. They quoted another guy, Dr. Philip Russ.
Aren't these the same guys that were like... Were these guys against people getting vaccinated, like when the whole like swine flu epidemic thing was happening?
Well, yeah. I mean, Fox News when the swine flu or SARS and shit, they're always the ones that are sitting there like, oh, come on. But because Obama's in charge now it's like a different story. Now it's got to be, oh, well, we got to fucking make this about how Obama's bungling this whole situation and these liberals don't know how to fucking protect us from Ebola. Fucking Obama wants your kid to have Ebola. If Obama could, Obama would take your child and inject Ebola virus right into his fucking face. That's what Obama wants to do. We're trying to protect you.
So, a virologist who oversaw Ebola research said being dogmatic is ill-advised because there are too many unknowns here. Now, these are hardly people that are out of the mainstream that are warning us that the CDC and the government is not necessarily telling us the truth.
You know, I've heard that, but Sean, if it did become a disease which was airborne, like say influenza or something like that, and as deadly and horrible as this is, I'll tell you the steps that would have to be taken. You would have to shut down all airline flights. You can't have somebody on an airliner who's sneezing if it was an airborne disease. And the least thing we can do from what we know now is
I agree, like in that hypothetical
for
situation that hasn't happened and probably isn't going to happen.
You could say that about any disease.
Right, like, I could sit here right now and say, like, if the common cold suddenly mutated to become deadly, we would have to take these following precautions. It's like, okay, well, that's fine. That's a nice little what-if scenario, but what the fuck does it have to do with anything?
Yeah, like what if herpes became airborne all of a sudden?
Right, I mean, come the fuck on here.
Days before they come back to this country from places like that and shut down the airline travel where everybody can get onto an airliner. This isn't done out of hatred of Liberia. No country's ever been more generous to Africa than the United States.
Two things we ought to do. First, a travel ban. I don't care what they say over at NBC News, especially these countries that are greatly affected. Now, if the American people are asked for their generosity and help, I'm sure it'll be given. It already is being given by our government. Second thing is we have two reasons now to control our border. ISIS and Ebola and other diseases as well.
Go fuck
ISIS
every
and Ebola
molecule of yourself.
are working together against America.
They should just form ISIS-Bola.
ISIS-Bola. I like that.
We have to watch out for ISIS-Bola. It's trying to destroy our values. Our values! Don't you understand the values?
Well, fair statement?
Well, of course, and you should. Our border should have been controlled long ago. You got crime, as you say. You got potential for terrorism coming in. You got people coming in who are not checked for diseases, as they are checked at airports and things like that if they're coming as immigrants. Listen, there are friends of mine.
I mean, like, That's what I'm saying. Like, why can't we just check people for the fucking Ebola virus? Why not, why restrict the travel to the entire country? You know, like, couldn't we just have anyone? I mean, like, anyone who's fucking actually been in contact with people who have Ebola. I mean, obviously that makes sense to travel restrict them, but every fucking single person in these countries should just be prohibited from traveling freely because we're scared because one fucking person got Ebola and there's a lot of unknowns, so be afraid.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much been Fox News's, mantra.
That's been the shtick. That's been the mantra. That's what they're fucking saying.
Be afraid.
Does it make any sense to be afraid in this instance? I don't fucking think so. I see a bunch of people hashtagging ISIS Ebola.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, but before
that'd be
it
a
was
good death metal band, I think.
Before it was like we should be afraid, therefore we must trust George Bush.
Now it's like we must be afraid because Obama can't handle this shit. Obama's incompetence putting you in danger of getting fucking struck by ISIS Ebola. You're gonna die. If the terrorists don't get you, the virus will.
Ebola did 9/11.
Yes,
people in the chat room were saying that. Ebola did 9/11.
I agree. It's the one conspiracy theory I've heard about 9/11 that I actually agree with. It was Ebola, folks.
Mine over there at MSNBC, who would agree everything we're saying here, Sean, being the first duty of the government of the United States is you protect and secure the people 100%. Following that, if you've got that done, then they say we need help over here. Americans will be the
All right,
first
if it's
to
our
help,
job to
but the
protect and secure the people 100%, then shouldn't it also be the policy of these fucking Republicans that if someone is, like, starving, we should give them food? If someone doesn't have a house, we should give them a house? Shit like that. Like, if we're really just committed to fucking 100% security of all Americans at all fucking times,
yes,
then shouldn't they be in favor of every fucking social welfare program? Shouldn't they be all about fucking protecting poor people from fucking, starvation and shit like that? Shouldn't they be all about making sure that everyone has a fucking job and a house and all the fucking basic necessities they need to fucking eke out an existence on this planet? But that's not their fucking rhetoric at all. The fucking Republican rhetoric 90% of the time is like, fuck everybody. But then when it comes to the Ebola virus and it comes to scoring fucking political points against the Obama administration, they'll sit there and be like, we need to protect everyone. Every fucking soul is sacred. It's the same line of bullshit they trot out when they fucking make their argument for abortion. Every life is sacred. By the way, fry those convicts. Fry them now. Oh, those starving people, well, they'll figure it out. But every life is sacred.
first responsibility is to your own family, your own community, your own country, and they ought to learn that down at
Great
CDC.
Britain, France, travel bans. Saudi Arabia, travel bans. The United States, no, we're not going to have a travel ban. What does that mean?
Let me tell you, you have one or two or three more of these arrangements like they had down there in Dallas, where that guy got on a plane to get to the United States for treatment, and really, I mean, he went to help himself and he endangered the whole community. You have one or two or three more of those, Sean, and the administration and Barack Obama and his friends will turn around pronto.
All right, Pat Buchanan, good to see you. Thank you. Coming up.
He's right about that, actually. I mean, especially because of all the fear that they're stirring up.
That's true. Yeah, all right. Oh, by the way, TJ, audible.com.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, if you want to support the Drunken Peasants podcast, one of the best ways to do so is go to audibletrial.com/The Drunken Peasants, and you can get a free audiobook. There's tens of thousands of different titles to choose from. I think there's actually hundreds of thousands of different titles to choose from, including many fine atheist titles, many fine works of fiction and nonfiction, all read by either professional voice actors or the author. And you can check that out down below. It helps out the show, and you get a free audiobook out of it. So
you can't lose.
Can't lose. Win-win situation for you guys.
Exactly. And us.
Us too.
Yeah. All right. So, there was that Bill O'Reilly thing that you wanted to
fuck
play.
That. Let's just do the questions.
Oh, you want to just get to the question?
Or is there more stories?
There's actually a few more things.
Well, what is there? Let's see.
Ken Ham.
Should a Christian
hold
attend
on.
a gay wedding?
Hold on. I have to restart the sound really quick. I knew it.
Technical difficulties.
Okay, so it should work now.
Okay.
Yep.
Should a Christian attend a gay wedding?
Hell
This
no.
is Ken Ham on a mission to strengthen the church with apologetics teaching. Last year, former President George Bush Sr. made national news when he attended a same-sex wedding. The media reported that President Bush now supports so-called gay marriage.
So-called gay marriage.
So-called gay marriage. What does that mean?
Yeah, so-called.
What does that mean? What does so-called mean? Like it's not... What is it? I don't understand. Like, how is it so-called? It is. That's what it is. You're even discussing it as such. So you obviously agree to that definition. So how is it so-called? I don't know. Whatever.
Now, some Christians claim that attending a same-sex wedding is just a neutral action, but the Bible makes it clear there's no neutral ground. You see, the very language of a wedding ceremony assumes that everyone there is agreeing with the marriage. So-called same-sex marriage is against what God ordained for marriage, and Christians can't affirm what the Bible calls sin. You know, at some point, many of us will be asked to attend a same-sex wedding. Saying no to such an invitation will be difficult, but we must firmly stand on God's word while also showing love to those with whom...
I'm actually surprised that his advice is just don't attend. I would think that he would actually advocate, like, you should go, but you got to proselytize and, like, try to sabotage it and shit.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know if this guy's really that extreme. I just think he's...
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you're fucking extreme enough to say that you should just, even just, like, if it's a family member or a friend, you should just turn down the gay weddings no matter what. Just, yeah, okay... I mean, like, if that's your attitude, like, it doesn't really seem like a moderate attitude to me. So you might as well just go the extra mile and say, like, oh, no, you actually need to fucking stop these weddings from happening. You need to go there and you need to fucking, when they say, does anyone object to this union, you need to be like, damn right I do, and then start reading from scripture.
So why do you think
shit.
he doesn't say that?
I don't know. I think that it probably just didn't occur to him. I think that once he hears this podcast, he'll put out a new video. He'll be like, I would like to thank the amazing atheists for helping me define what my position truly is on this issue.
We disagree.
Want to find out more about the true origin of all people? Visit our website.
Sure,
Okay.
why not?
So that's basically Ken Ham's take on that.
Okay, so Ken Ham's an idiot. Nice to know, I guess.
Time to move on. Let's see. Oh yeah, I remember this thing.
Hey, hey, officer.
Hang on just a minute.
I had a quick question.
I'll be right back with you.
Do you wanna buy some weed from me, maybe?
Actually, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get like
Did you
40
ask me?
for it. Trying to get like maybe like 40.
Come here.
I mean, if you don't want to buy any, that's
Open
cool.
your hands. Open your hands. Open your
If you
hands.
don't want to buy any, that's cool.
And it just like totally vanished.
It's a hell of a fucking use of magic, you know?
Yeah, to prank the police.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Where did it go? Get over here.
What are you talking about?
Chill out. I don't have anything on me.
Turn around.
I have nothing on me.
Turn around. Stay right there on the wall. Where'd it go? You walk up, you say, "How, officer, do you want to
No,
buy
I did
some
not.
weed?"
I asked you to try and
Bullshit.
ask you
came
for
up
the
here and
time.
asked me, "Officer, do you
I
want to buy
asked you
some
for the
weed?"
time. I'm not
Don't
trying.
fuck around with me,
I'm
son.
not.
I don't
I'm not trying to.
I ain't trying to buy no weed. I'm just gonna take it from you.
Yeah.
This is pretty brazen. Like, the cop, I mean, like, if I was a cop and some dude came up to me and was like, you want to buy some weed from me, officer? I'd be like, no, this is fucking...
Yeah, yeah.
This is a setup. This is bullshit. Fuck this. I ain't even
I'm not trying
justifying
to.
this shit.
And unless you have something to charge me with, I'm pretty sure I'm okay to go. I don't
You know
remember.
what? I don't have time to play with you. Get the f out of here. Goodbye.
All right.
Walk away.
I am.
Stop.
This guy looks like Justin Bieber to me.
He does.
That's like one of the reasons I'm like.
It kind of detracts from it.
Right.
A little bit.
But it's a brilliant prank for sure.
And the what he does around the fucking corner here is like the
Yeah.
best part to me.
Talking, just walk away. Get out.
Okay, let's
Walk
go.
away, camera.
Let's shut the camera. Shut the camera off. Shut it off. Let's go. Dude, I still got it on me though. What?
That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. So that's just like, there's not really much to say. It's just us watching this video and trying to leech off its fucking views and traffic.
It actually doesn't really have that many views. At least where I saw it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you saw it here first. Make this video viral. Fuck the original fucking creators of this video.
No, we should probably link them.
Nah, fuck them. Fuck them in the ass, Ben. be a scumbag. Don't link the video.
I'm gonna link it.
Don't link the video.
Ow.
Sorry. I didn't mean to injure you with my amazing strength.
Burger King
It's a commercial.
It's a commercial.
The $5 bill. Please don't laugh.
Try the new
No one was.
Swiss Big King. Now in the Burger King 2.
No one would laugh like that looking at that. That would just be deadpan stares across the board.
What the fuck? I don't even understand it.
It's because...
Is it supposed to be funny?
Yeah, I guess. 2 for $5. That's the point.
Let's watch it one more time really quick.
Okay, go
Burger
ahead.
King wants to officially change the $5 bill.
So they want to put cheeseburgers in what, like a chicken sandwich?
I guess.
On the $5 bill.
Yeah, because you can get 2 Burger King sandwiches for $5 fucking.
Is this real? Did they really like pull someone in a room and do this, or is this?
There's no way. It has to be an actor because no one would fucking laugh at this. No one would look at this and be like, ah, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why there's only one guy though. Like they were probably going for like the crowd reaction where they shows a bunch of people laughing, but instead it's just the only guy that thought it was funny. So they just went with him. There's like, well, this guy thought it was really funny.
Please don't laugh.
Try the new Mushroom and Swiss Big King. Now in the Burger King 2 for $5 menu, where you can mix and
You
match
can get
2
diarrhea
large
for only $5.
Yeah.
Welcome to Burger King. Enjoy shitting your pants all night.
You can save 5 minutes if you, or you could save about an hour if you flush it before you eat it. Let's see. Okay, here's a commercial.
We've seen this commercial
on
several
TV.
times.
They usually play it during wrestling.
Well, there's a lot of farmers watching
Yeah.
wrestling.
Where's Jill?
She's really lonely and out walking the cornfield again.
Do you think
Jill's life is pathetic.
It's funny because all the farm animals are like talking to each other,
and they're really concerned about the humans.
The love life of their farmers.
Yeah, these cows are like, man, I hope that fucking Joe gets a date. When it's like,
Not hanging out with us all day.
We used to be lonely.
I mean,
Until we...
I would think those fucking like the fucking cows probably like more worried about being the fucking $5 menu at Burger King than they would whether or not the fucking farmer hooks up with anyone or not.
Right.
If I was a fucking cow, I'd be like, I hope that motherfucker never gets laid.
Right.
I hope his fucking dick falls off. Piece of shit. Turn me into steaks. Yeah, I hope you fucking never. I hope you cry yourself to sleep at night from loneliness every night, you fucking prick.
No, they're gonna find love on the internet.
But instead, the cow's like, I hope he finds love before he fucking chops my head off.
met on Farmers Only.
FarmersOnly.com is the new online dating site for farmers, ranchers, and good old country folks.
You don't have to be
lonely
at
FarmersOnly.com.
City folks just don't get it.
I think it's country folk that don't get it if they have to fucking put commercials like this on TV.
Right.
But hey, I mean, like, isn't it kind of strange that America has changed so much that now there's an online dating site for fucking farmers that apparently makes enough money to advertise on national television with these terrible fucking commercials? I mean, like, this couldn't even have existed 5 fucking years ago. Like, it really couldn't have. But now it's a fucking thing. An online dating site for fucking farmers.
Yeah. And it looks like the American Gothic painting in their like little logo. Are you familiar with that painting? American Gothic?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like.
And it's, I mean, well, it's obviously like a play on that.
Yeah. All right.
Rape.
So now we move into the question segment.
No.
No? What are we going to do?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. There's airplanes flying overhead right now.
Astute observation, Ben.
Yeah. It's pretty loud. Is it ISIS
Is it
Bola?
loud? Is it loud enough for the mics to pick up?
I don't think so. It's ISIS Bola.
Let's hear a question. Ah!
Hello, Drunken Peasants. Are you concerned about the Ebola epidemic that will soon wipe out all of humanity? Because I'm not. Do you think that Americans need access to reliable news that they can count on instead of this for-profit fear-mongering.
And that's kind of what we were just talking about.
Yeah, we kind of already answered this. So,
yeah. But thanks for the question.
Thanks for the question, me at age 15.
Is that what you looked like?
Pretty close.
Pretty close?
I was a little skinnier than that. So, that guy's going to have even more problems than my ass.
Than your ass.
My ass.
Hey, drunken sluts.
What?
I'd like to ask you a question. My question is, about 3 weeks ago, while I was moving out of my old apartment, somebody attacked me and they tried to kill me. You see, here is
Jesus.
The scar that they left. It had 20 staples. The skin was hanging off down here, and they took me to the ER. He tried to cut me right there, and I was bruised all the way down my arm, and both my legs were injured. And the reason why he did that was because he said that I was gay, and you know, I don't look my best all the time, but who does? And my question to you is, to keep myself safe and people who aren't, you know, particularly, I guess, specifically violent, without building an electric wall with an exploding pea, or whatever you guys said once before about building a wall around yourself to stay safe, do you have any opinions or suggestions on how to stay safe in a place where people might hate you because you might be different?
Exploding
okay, thanks,
pea.
TJ.
Exploding pea.
Man, that was a fucking serious ass question.
Yeah,
there.
it's pretty crazy.
That was some crazy shit going on.
Yep.
Anyway, everyone is in danger at all times, and there's no way to be safe on this fucking planet.
And how could you worry about someone trying to kill you when there might be Ebola?
Yeah,
I
don't
mean,
you know?
come on.
That's the more serious threat.
Than the person who actually
than the
attacked
person who
you.
actually attacked and fucking tried to harm you. Be afraid of Ebola instead.
Seriously, though, that's a hard question to answer. You know,
It is. I mean, it really is. Like, because, you know, I mean, obviously there's precautions. I mean, you could take fucking defense classes. You could fucking get mace or fucking a knife or a gun or something and learn how to use it. But, I mean, I don't know. It's really just up to you what fucking precautions you think are necessary. But I mean, ultimately, everyone's fucking in danger, especially of other human beings. Like, you know, other people are fucking dangerous motherfuckers. I mean, it's just like a fact of life. I mean, if someone's not trying to fucking kill you, they're trying to fuck you over. They're trying to do something to you. You know, that's just my view. So fuck people. Just, you know, don't associate with humans. That's really the safest thing. Is just cloister yourself away in your house and never leave and just stare out the window with a fucking cocked shotgun right by the fucking within arm's reach at all times. That's how you be safe. Just agoraphobia.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Walking Dead is coming soon, and
the next time you send us a question video, you should make your camera move down a little bit.
Right. Like, who honestly looks at this shot and is like, I'm going with this. My head fills up the bottom half of the screen with all this fucking space above me and all this space around me. Like every person, like, they have the common sense to like point the camera here. You know, but this guy's like, nope, I'm going to be This is good. This is a good spot. What a I mean, like, come on. I know that we don't have a fucking audience full of cinematographers or something, but Jesus. Okay. Like, and you know, like, if you watch the show, you know that space has stuff in it all the fucking time. Like, you know that fucking space, we fucking cover up that portion of the screen. Every fucking person who watches the show knows that. And still, just like, nope, I'm down here. Hey, guys. How you doing?
We'll do the rest of the question like this.
Yeah, cover his fucking ass up as his punishment for being stupid.
I don't think he's stupid. I don't want to call him stupid.
I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm saying this is stupid.
Oh, okay.
I just want to know what type of person would you guys be in a zombie apocalypse? Would you be going crazy? Would you like it? Would you just be...
Would you go crazy or would you like...
Some people would like it, man.
Some people would like being in a zombie apocalypse.
Dude, man, you ever been down south? Some of those rednecks, they fucking think it's going to happen, and they look forward to it, man. They're like, yeah, man, I can't wait for them zombies. I'm going to shoot no motherfucker. They got guns. They're ready. They're fucking just target practice. They fucking buy...
I did see, there were like these survivalist stores in New Mexico.
Dude, my little brother Stevie is one of those motherfuckers.
That's crazy.
He fucking wants a zombie apocalypse. He thinks he does. His fucking fat ass get in a fucking minute.
Yeah.
But... I mean, he thinks he wants it, though, because he imagines, like, that's when his life is really going to begin, when he can fucking shoot zombies in the streets. Like, he's just waiting for that moment, because that's his true purpose and calling.
Okay, I would not enjoy it.
I would enjoy it.
You would?
Well... I'd enjoy the first, like, before it, like, I hope it doesn't get to me right away, because I want to watch it unfold on TV. You know, like, it'd be good viewing. So I like it from that perspective. I mean, obviously, as it got closer, I'd start to sweat a little more, like, oh, shit. You know, and when a zombie bursts through my door, I mean, whatever. Being a zombie is not that bad. I mean, it's what most Americans aspire to be anyway. I don't know why everyone's so fucking afraid. Like, you're going to be a mindless fucking automaton that just goes around and does pointless shit. It's like, oh, so it's the same as being human. What's the fucking big deal?
A group person, a lone wolf, or would you just die in the first 3 weeks and would be no concern to you after the last one? Anyways, guys, discuss, share what you think, and smoke pan every day.
Yeah. So, yeah, we pretty much answered it.
Yeah, to me, like, enjoying it, I don't know. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. I guess that's the wrong word to describe it. Let's see.
I have 3 questions for you, all related to Star Wars. My first question is, would you rather be a Sith or a Jedi, and why? My second question is, who is your favorite Star Wars character?
I think both are fucking childish, honestly. Like, the Jedi, from what I saw, at least in the fucking prequel trilogy, they're a bunch of fucking assholes. I mean, most of the Jedi were trained from, like, birth. Like, if you were strong with the Force, they take you and they train you. You're a Jedi.
Youngling.
Right. You're a Jedi, no matter what. Like, you have no personal choice. You have no freedom. You can't just be like, well, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do what I want in life. No, you got to be a fucking Jedi. And they have all these stupid rules and regulations. And then the Sith are just as bad, because it's like, it's basically, we're going to codify how you should behave. Like, oh, you need to be deceptive and you need to do this. And
You have to
do that.
watch your back because other Sith will kill you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was playing...
I mean, why? Like, it doesn't really make sense. Like, if you have this power that exists, it should be just as pliant as human will. It wouldn't really be codified into 2 factions of, like, we have this ideology and we have this ideology and that's it. Like, every fucking person you wouldn't be a Jedi or a Sith. You'd just be you with this power.
They really wanted to make it good versus evil, like, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
polar opposites of each other.
And in a narrative structure, it works. But as a question applied to real life, I just, fuck them both. I don't want to join some club.
I couldn't. I played Star Wars: The Old Republic game as a Sith, and it's crazy because you're always like betraying people and killing them, and then like taking their place in the game. So it's like if you're a Sith, you have to watch your back, even with your allies. Did he ask what Star Wars character we would be? Was it?
Not at this point. Maybe later. I don't know.
He asked us 2 questions. Hold on.
I have 3 questions for you, all related to Star Wars. My first question is, would you rather be a Sith or a Jedi, and why? My second question is, who is your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, who's our favorite Star Wars character? There's so many of them.
I would go with Vader and Palpatine. I like that Imperial higher, like, I don't know.
I like Vader and Han Solo, and I like Boba Fett.
Jabba the Hutt is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty good.
My last question is, do you have any expectations from the new Star Wars movie? Do you think J.J. Abrams will be able to pull it off, or will he fuck it up like George Lucas did on the prequels? Just any thoughts on the movie? Thank you.
You know, I'm just kind of cautiously optimistic, I guess.
I just think about what he did with the Star Trek movies.
But I mean, that was Star Trek, and he really didn't seem to understand it, or at least he had his own vision that was kind of antithetical to what most Star Trek fans want. But I think that his kind of his more fun-loving, fast and loose style kind of does work better for Star Wars. So it might be better suited. He might be better suited for it. You know?
It could be.
And I know that at least aesthetically, he's committed to making it look more like the original fucking Star Wars films. And I mean, I honestly, I think that he could at least make a competent film that, compared to the prequels, will be great. But maybe, you know, whether it's actually great on its own merit, I don't know. We'll have to see. But I hope so.
I hope so, but I'm not going to be optimistic about it.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, how you guys doing this evening? I have two questions for you guys. Number one, do you guys think that Ben Affleck can pull it off as Batman?
No.
No.
And number two, what do you guys think of the upcoming AC/DC album, Rock or Bust? Alright, thanks guys, bye.
I have no opinion.
Yeah. I don't really listen to AC/DC.
I mean, I listen to AC/DC, but I don't, you know, like, have they even put out anything in years that...
Yeah, they're always putting stuff out, but to me it sounds the same.
Yeah, I mean, like, it kind of seems like they've been retreading the same old fucking shit for quite a while now. I don't really see them as, like, being a really, like, an innovative band that's coming up with new shit. It's just like, here's another album of the same songs we've already done a million times before. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Hey, Drunken Peasants, I was just wondering if you guys ever heard of the snowball Earth theory, which, in its basics, in the very beginning of Earth was a warmer period due to the methane gas, but as first life emerged, their waste product was oxygen, and the built-up oxygen actually cooled the Earth and kind of drove it into an ice age, where there was like a mile thick of ice between the atmosphere and the ocean. And scientists theorized the only way that life could survive was off hydrothermal vents underwater, as much life does today. And that environment is actually just like how the moon Europa is. And we recently discovered that there is plate tectonic activity in Europa. And for me, that kind of solidifies the idea that life is surviving off of hydrothermal vents underneath Europa's ice. My question to you is, do you think that's possible? Do you think that's most likely? And do you think we should be spending money and resources and time trying to figure that out and try to explore Europa or other planets and moons in our galaxy or beyond? Thanks.
Well, I think that as beings who have been, I don't know, either blessed or cursed, depending on your point of view, with consciousness and the ability to even understand this information on any level, I think that it should be our duty and objective to try to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos and try to understand reality and try to see, I mean, what's out there. I don't understand the point of view that we need to be isolated from, like, you know, some people, they just don't have any intellectual curiosity. They don't have any interest in exploring. They don't really have any interest in discovering new knowledge because they only ask, well, how does this help me? But we've seen that learning new things has been of tremendous benefit to the human species. All of the convenience of modernity that we kind of take for granted as something that just exists for us was really hard fought by, not just scientific minds, but philosophical minds and artistic minds, and people who challenged, the status quo, people who fucking cared about new information, people who cared about creating new things or discovering new things. So, I mean, of course we should explore this. Of course we should try to see if there's life forms feeding off the thermal vents of Europa. We know that there's life forms that feed off the thermal vents here now that don't rely on the sun's energy at all, that are just they are just feeding off the planet's energy. And if that's possible here, there's no reason it shouldn't be possible there. And even the possibility, even if we believe the possibility is incredibly remote, it's worth exploring. It's worth pouring resources into. Because then we have some new knowledge. And maybe that new knowledge leads to an explanation of how life emerges. Maybe studying that new life form tells us the nature of life itself. Because now we have a basis of comparison. How does this thing different from us? How is it similar to us? And, what is its potential ultimately? So yeah, I think that it's worth investigating.
Hello there, Ben and TJ. Probably Scotty.
Nope.
Possibly guest.
Nope.
Just wondering what you guys think of giving money to homeless people. Is it something you do? And if you do it, is it something that you feel proud of, as in you're making some sort of small contribution to society, no matter how small?
You're so quiet.
Or do you have the more conservative view of they're just a drug addict? They're just gonna spend their money on drugs and alcohol. Is that how you feel? You pieces of shit. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Whoa.
Fuck you. Answer my question now.
Wow, TJ likes this.
I do like this. Why? What's so funny, Beb?
Nothing. He was very degrading.
Yeah, he was. He was very insulting. I like that. I like that in a person. I do. And I like his style and presentation. He's got his own little look down and whisper thing going on. Yeah. But in terms of his question, I mean, I don't give money to homeless people, but it's usually because I don't even have money on me. I just have cards and shit.
I've done it before, but
yeah,
it's not something I do all the time.
Given money. I gave money. I was in San Diego once, and I gave money to one guy, and then there was 50 guys that were fucking gathering around. It was it's like pigeons if you throw down some seed, so. After that, I kind of got discouraged. I don't really want to do this. If there's one homeless guy and I don't see any others around, I'll give him some money, maybe, if I have any on me, but usually I don't. And I do think that a lot of them are drug addicts. And I'd rather we just have a better social safety net in this country, and it could just be taken care of through tax dollars.
Yeah, begging for money should not be the social safety net.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I don't really view it as, I view it as an obligation of me as on a social level, on a higher level of social consciousness. We should do that, but on a personal level, I don't know, there's a lot of problems with it. First of all, I mean, it's an imposition on me to have to even deal with that shit. And second of all, I mean, I don't know how they're actually going to appropriate the funds I give them. And third of all, I mean, I don't know. I'd honestly maybe even get more I'd maybe give them more money if it was just for drugs anyway, though. Because I mean the food thing, and that's fine. That's kind of cliche though. I say fucking you should spend it on drugs. I mean, who needs food when you're high all the time?
Hi, Drunken Peasants. By now you've probably noticed that G-Man thinks that you're dumbasses who have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. So why do you think G-Man thinks this? And if you want my opinion, I think it's because he's so dumb he can't actually tell when you're joking. You may have also noticed this. I don't know. Thanks.
In terms of, G-Man is crazy and stupid. He really is. I mean, we kicked him off the show last week because he literally wouldn't agree with us that starving children exist.
Yeah.
I think that if a person reaches that point of intellectual dishonesty, nothing they say really needs to be treated as if it could have any value.
He literally asked us to produce a starving child. He was like, show me a starving child. Like we keep starving children around.
I mean, we do, but we're not going to show them off.
Seriously.
You know, that shit's private. You don't need to see my starving children collection.
Hey, Drunken Peasants. How's it going? PJ, Ben, Scotty? Nice
Nope.
seeing you all. I'm just wondering what your guys' opinion on the show American Horror Story is. And also, what's your favorite horror movie? See you guys next week.
What do you think, Ben? I've never seen American Horror Story.
Neither have I.
We're totally ill-prepared for this question.
Yeah, favorite horror
I've
movies?
always said my favorite horror movie is Idiocracy, even though it wasn't intended as a horror movie.
It's supposed to be a comedy.
But I mean, honestly, I mean, like I say that, I don't even really say it as like a joke or something. I'm saying it because it's the one movie that truly has like horrified me.
What, like stupid people breed and
like just the concept of stupid people will outbreed smart people, and eventually the entire human race will be degraded into complete fucking morons, and that's how the civilization collapses. And like my friend Galen is just like, well, that's already happened. I'm like, no, but like not really to the extent that's in the movie.
No, the people in the movie, I don't even know how they still live in a society because they're so stupid in the movie, you know?
It's almost just like because the structure was there, so they kind of just are still somehow eking it out and making it work for them to some extent, but, you know, Jesus. No, I mean, but that's scary to me, the fucking concept of the death of all intelligence and everyone is just a fucking moron. I already feel like most people are morons.
Do you have a favorite actual horror movie, though?
Probably like the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like that one, and I like Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
That one's a good one too.
And I like
those are probably the two best. I don't know. I like Dream Warriors too. I like the Friday the 13th movies, but I don't really consider them horrifying. I just think they're funny.
Do you like the Halloween movies?
I like the first one and the second one, and I thought the third one with the weird mask subplot was shitty.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with the Michael Myers
right.
story.
And then I thought they made a few when they came back that were pretty good, but around the time that it was like getting to, like, I think there was a rapper in one at some point. I don't know. It was like Snoop Dogg or something was in it, or Coolio. I don't fucking even remember.
I don't know.
But when it got to that point, it was like, oh shit, this is really fucked up. And then Rob Zombie's reboots I hated. They turned Michael Myers into like this steroid-addled fucking wrestler-looking motherfucker.
Really? I never saw them.
Yeah, he's all hulked out. He's like fucking 7 feet tall and shit. Huh. You might as well just had Kane play him.
I wonder who they had play him.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
But it was bad. Actually, the first 45 minutes of the fucking first Rob Zombie Halloween are pretty decent. Like, I didn't think I'd want to see Michael Myers' origin story, really, but he actually does a pretty good job with that. But then when he actually grows up and dons the mask, the movie just totally falters, in my opinion. So what's next?
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it?
Yeah.
All right. Show's over. audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants to support our show. Get a free audiobook in the process. If you haven't done it, please do it. It helps us out and you get something free. So how the fuck can you possibly say that's not a good deal? Bam!
Bam. And we'll be back
next week.
Next week.